And it tells me I'm live. We'll just wait for the lag to catch up there. Good evening, all two of you in there, by myself and Mrs. W.
I see you.
You see me. And
I see.
got audio. Yep, we're all sound. Well, how are we tonight then, people? Good evening, Ray. I dare say Jenny will be in very shortly. Marines, good evening.
I'm going to say this is 5.
How are you doing? Yeah, I'll be a bit subdued tonight. Still not feeling well. My blood pressure's going up again. But that's basically due to the fact that I'm coming up for my next round of the Venus section. So that's on Monday. So by the time I've had that, it should start dropping again.
You're down to 4. Somebody's had enough already.
Yeah, someone's gone already. But yeah, I'm not feeling too bright, and for sitting up till God knows what time this morning to watch that bloody rocket explode again, well, that was a silly idea to start with. So, how you doing, Marines?
Hi, Stitch.
Hi, Stitch. Little Stitch. Right,
Resist.
buddy, and Resist, who's always in the background there. But yeah, it's been a bit of an entertaining week so far, with the especially with what happened in Liverpool. Although, you know, good evening, Scar. I'm going to buy a SpaceX ticket bucket for a free parachute. Yeah, let's get cooked on the way down then, it's Scar. Or be sick and dizzy. The amount of spinning. But yeah, the Liverpool incident. They had to mention that they were looking into the fact that the driver, whoever he is, was driving in excess of drugs. But they seem to be releasing a little bit more information, I'll say, than usual. I mean, straight away they jumped on the fact that it was a 53-year-old English white person. And they haven't really said too much since. Good evening, Moo. But obviously the usual, well, we asked the public not to speculate and not to spread rumours over social media, stop sharing any footage you've got. And then in the next breath, they're asking people to send them footage if they've got any. So what happened to everybody on the streets with a camera being a fucking terrorist then, police? Now you want their footage. But they have said on just about every other case that they can't release details, even ethnicity, of the perpetrator because it could hurt the court case. But all of a sudden, that seems to be what they're doing. And as I've always said, if they told the truth, people wouldn't need to speculate. You know, yeah, there's always going to be the conspiracy theories, but yeah, exactly, Scar. I mean, you know, there's one out there today. I mean, I shared it on Facebook because I come across it. A picture of the driver, reasonably up close, but not very clear. And it does look like he's got a handheld radio of some description hanging on his vest. And what could be construed as bands on epaulets on the shoulder. But he got ripped out of the car pretty quick by the police and thrown in a van, so nobody could really get a good look at him. The only face they showed was the gent they arrested on the floor because he attacked the car. And yes, he did look like a 53-year-old, whatever it is, white Englishman. But why are they doing this? Why all of a sudden are they giving out all these bloody details? You know, we know and they know that nobody trusts them. Nobody's got any trust or faith in them anymore. And they'll happily lie through their teeth. I don't know. Why did they have fucking snipers on the roof there? That's a bit of a bewildering one. Unless somebody inadvertently got that picture and it wasn't the police, that could stir a few things up. Good evening, Tony. But again, they were very quick to announce that it wasn't a terrorist incident. Just like they did somewhere else that I remember. No, not terrorist incident. He's a Welsh choir boy, a Christian. I mean, that one's got to be the biggest fucking lie of the year, isn't it? But there's so many questions that need to be answered over Liverpool. And they said the car got in behind an ambulance. That's why they lifted the cordon on vehicles. People are saying it's an undercover police car. Well, if he was escorting the ambulance, they wouldn't have thought twice about letting it through. And also the fact that the car number plate disappeared very rapidly. Yes, that could have been one of the football supporters there ripping it off, damaging the car. But another question was, why was there almost immediately a copper in the car rummaging through things as if he was looking to remove something, or there was something they didn't want seen in there? Yeah, that's the only picture I've seen, Tony, of was them two on the roof, both of them armed. One with a tripod, one with a sling. Why they'd have them there, I don't know. Were they expecting something? No, you won't, Scar. You'll never, ever get the truth from them. We see that time and time again, and they'll lie through their teeth. But I got to say, I was a bit disappointed with the reactions of some of the party goers, I'll call them, because it was a party. Now, as soon as that car stopped, there was quite a few that just simply jumped in and started attacking the car, rather than trying to rescue the people that were sat under it, laid under it, pinned down by it. That would have been my first concern, rather than attacking the car. But there again, spur of the moment, people snap. I must admit, I've lost my temper, not over things like that, but over a few things, and have just snapped without thinking. But luckily, nobody died. That is a good thing about it all, really. It's the only good thing about it.
That sounds like you said you lost your temper a few times, but nobody died.
Well, nobody died that I know of through me losing the temper. Put it that way.
Yeah, it was a good thing. Nobody died in Liverpool.
It wasn't meant like that, I can assure you. But no, there's definitely quite a few questions there that need answering. Yeah, could be Scar. I would say the way he was rummaging, it was more likely he was looking for something.
Checking for a weapon.
That's a fair shout. Yeah, checking for a weapon, but they'd already dragged the driver out and got him in the van. So
Just checking there wasn't anything left under the seat.
in fairness, he might have been looking to see if there's any mobile phones or anything like that, because it looked like the car was going to get royally trashed by the supporters. But there could be an innocent explanation for it. He may well have just thought the road was open, following the ambulance, because it was probably going slow with the crowds about. Maybe once they started attacking his car, he panicked and put his foot down. He tried to reverse out of it and push the bloke out of the way. And he just might have been panicked and put his foot down. You don't know. But
we'll find out eventually, or not.
Well, as far as I know, they haven't actually charged him yet, because they've just been given extra time by the court to question him. Everybody's saying he's going to get charged with attempted manslaughter, drug driving, and a few other driving offences. But as far as I know, I've heard nothing officially that he's been even charged yet. Will they come up with the mental health issue? But if anything the police have said so far is out of order and wrong, totally wrong, they are going to get absolutely slaughtered. But it's just going to be a waiting game. They'll start watering down what they tell us. Obviously, a lot of details will be left out. And yeah, rightly so, there are some. But they haven't even named him. They haven't even named the guy. But while I'm talking about the police, how about I give a big up for Mark Rowley, all the other chief constables, and MI5, because they've actually come out and told Starmer that his idea of early release and the new idea of shorter sentencing and more tagging than sentencing, they've all got together and they've told the government this will lead to an absolute fucking crime wave. I said in a video that if you start doing away with sentencing and shorter sentences, then that's a deterrent to commit a crime out the window. If you're not actually going to get physically punished for it, you've got nothing to lose by going and committing it, have you? But we're already seeing and have been seeing an absolute massive wave of rising crime on the streets, and a lot of it of the worst kind: stabbings, murders, rapes. So I've got to give the police on that front anyway a pat on the back for admitting it. Now what we need to know, Rowley, is what you're going to fucking do about it. because you ain't doing much about the one we've got at the moment, are you? But no, I got up and for that, for standing up and saying that. He hasn't got much right in his tenature as chief constable, whatever he is. And him and Khan now have got a bigger headache coming, haven't they? Because if it's right and it's being organised, it looks like London's going to see one hell of a march in September. Yeah, shoplifting, that's another one, Scar. You know, because there's no deterrent to it. But yeah, if this now Tommy's out, he looked like Castaway, didn't he, from the film with his beard and his hair. I believe that was grown for effect, especially as he went straight away and had it shaved. There's no way they'd have denied him having a shave or a haircut in there. So that was probably purely by choice or laziness. A bit like me today, I couldn't be asked to shave. I just didn't have the energy.
He didn't trust the Turkish barber.
The barber was a Muslim. But yeah, I mean, if this is as big as they say it's going to be, but well, what did you say, Stitch?
They'll tell all the details because it's a bad, naughty white Englishman.
No, nothing wrong with that, sweetheart. Nothing wrong with that. It's all right, my eyes are in and out of focus again. They've been like it for a few days now. But yeah, you know, how big a protest is this going to be? Well, they're going to say it's a march. You know, they won't label it as a protest. How will the police react? Because there's going to be Antifa there. There's probably be pro-Palestine as well. We all know that they're the ones that start the trouble. They're the violent ones shouting for violence. Antifa have been getting very brave, haven't they, antagonising the police lately. To the point where some of them got arrested the other day, for once. But this is billed as the freedom of speech, freedom of expression rally. Now, I can see, if it's on a weekend, I can see a rash of roadworks all of a sudden sprouting up to hold up traffic on the roads. I can see lots of rail maintenance allegedly being done that weekend, so lots of cancelled trains. Because I think they'll try and keep people away from it. You know, it's not happening anywhere else in the country, only in London. Evening, Gordo. And I think that they will try and stop how, you know, or slow down how many people actually get there. Remember I said that in September? And remind me, because I'll fucking forget. But, you know, they've been doing that all over the country. They've been slowing down movement with all the roadworks and unnecessary speed restrictions. And good evening. But yeah, I mean, was it because of Trump they decided to let Tommy out early? Was it the back flat from the general public and the likes of Trump to Starmer that he ordered it? You know, I mean, he's the one that controls the justice system, isn't he? He says he doesn't, but we know he does. Just like this was one of the most ridiculous stories I'd actually heard. Thames Water have been fined £122 million, give or take a few quid. Been busy on the boy. Fair enough. This is for obviously the sewerage overspills, customer service even not providing what they're getting paid for. And some of it is for handing out bonuses and what have you, even though they've totally failed. So I'm trying to keep an eye on my notes, guys, because my train of thought at the moment, it just keeps wandering. But there's so much in debt, and have been for some time. I mean, some of the other water boards are the same, but Thames being one of the biggest. Now, not so long back, they got a £3 billion package from the government. Well, from the taxpayer. Good evening, loafer. Yeah, they were given, whether it was a loan, whether they just gave it them or what, I don't know. And since they've had that, nothing's been improved. They did award themselves more dividends and bonuses once they'd got that. So personally, I would withdraw the offer or whatever they've got left of it, get that back. And if they want to survive, let them put their own money into it. If they won't, nationalise it. No, so basically that they're ripping the taxpayer off. They've been charging us huge bills which have been going up and up and up, and are going up big style this year, and still not providing the service that's paid for. Putting taxpayers' money in their own pocket for failure. Well, I'd have thought charging people for services that you're not actually providing, I believe that's illegal. That's fraud, isn't it? Well, it is as far as I'm concerned. But using that money to pay fines, I mean, the government are good at that themselves, aren't they? Lining their own pockets over things. But there you go. What's her face? The old ginger growler wants another 1.5 million homes. Water board can't cope with what it's got now. And we will be having water restrictions this year with the levels of water that they've got. Apparently some reservoirs are already quite low. You imagine how bad it would be if every single one of them that floated across the channel had a shower every day. And they're still coming, by the way. But yeah. Right back, Mrs. Colin. What else you got? Yeah, Reeves has been missing in the last few days. I don't know why she's MIA. Whether she's getting worried about her position because, she's totally fucked everything up. Certainly no businesswoman. But you got Rainer with her at her throat as well. Rainer's causing all sorts of fucking hassle. She wants this wealth tax. Yeah, bro, that's brilliant. let's drive. Oh, where's my fucking map on? She's going to drive the few that are remaining with money in the country, doing themselves out of more tax. And if I win the lottery on Friday, I might be fucking joining them. But yeah, she's causing a bit of an upset. But going back to Liverpool, Starmer, when he spoke about it in his little speech, have you ever seen anybody talk about something like that with absolutely no emotions whatsoever? Not even an expression of sorrow, horror, or anything on his face. He's just like a fucking monotone robot. You know, and he was the same at Southport, over Southport. And he looks like a wax dummy that can move its lips. You know, one of them ventriloquist dummies. Well, he is for the WEF, isn't he? He's one of their stool pigeons.
Maybe he's been Botoxed.
Yeah, he can't move his face.
He has no emotion in his face. He can't move his face because something went wrong with the Botox.
Lord Ali paid for his plastic surgery. Or as some people would have you say, he's got a mask on to cover up the fact that he's a lizard. Yeah. But they're all the same. There was another female MP made some sort of speech yesterday. And I actually said to Heather, I said, listen to her. She sounds as bland and as monotone as fucking Reeves does, Rachel from Accounts. You know, it's as if they're all following the same program, as it were. This is how you have to speak.
You can't show emotion. You can't show that you care.
Again, well, they can't show that they care because we know they don't. But
I expected the usual. Everybody that was injured, we wish you a speedy recovery. But there was none of that from him.
No.
Thank you very much to the ambulance crews that and the services that reacted so well. And
yeah, I mean, the police bigging themselves up. All the first responders were absolutely fucking brilliant. Yes, the paramedics were. You know, this is the police all over, and this is why they've lost all their respect, or the respects that people had for them that had any. I mean, anything that was left went out the window when we saw what they did over lockdown. You know, from that point onwards, it was blatantly obvious that they're not a police force. They're the strong-armed thugs of the government. You know, nothing to do with policing. It's about control. You know, I mean, you look at the way they work around protests and shit. You know, it's well known. Yes, this weekend they did arrest a few Antifa and a few pro-Palestine. But on the whole, that was because there was nobody else there. There was the odd one or two patriots shouting back. You know, and they had words, and they get attacked by the others, yet the police do nothing. Yeah, if that one person attacked them, they'd be straight in fucking cuffs. So, you know, they can get the fuck with their, no, there's no two-tier policing. There is, along with the two-tier justice. You know, like that one I talked about a little while back, the fucking the Muslim that raped, I think it was a 12-year-old girl. and the judge let him off. Basically, gave him a suspended sentence. Reason being, he didn't know it was illegal. Oh, as I said before, ignorance of the law is no defence in law. JW, good evening.
Which fire was it, Stitch?
Which fire you on about, Stitch? Have you had a fire? Oh, it happened near you with the fire. The recycling centre one, yeah. There's been a rash of these lately. They seem to be putting it all down to batteries. Not just car batteries, I mean any discarded battery, if it's mixed in with the right materials and makes contact, can heat up and set a fire. But yeah, it's strange. You had the one in Bicester, which basically was a warehouse that had units in there, many storing cars and stuff. I mean, that actually made the headlines, I believe. The only reason was because it's an ex-RAF camp. The fact that it was just an industrial unit, they don't normally advertise those. And that was before they announced that there was 3 killed in it, which, yeah, in fairness, would have made it newsworthy, according to mainstream media. I've seen a report today, actually, about the barristers and the juniors and that in the legal profession. They basically said that they won't work on DEI cases. They won't work on the woke agenda and the wokeness, simply because of what the law says. Everybody is equal under law. You start fucking around with that and charging one with more than the other for the same crime, that's discrimination. That totally goes against the law that's already in place. Yeah, the thing is, with places like that, Stitch, you never know what's on fire. That's the issue. So some of the chemicals used in batteries, well, in everyday things, can be quite hazardous when they're burning. Yeah, they said nobody was in there. The building was cleared. They know nobody was in there. But this is the other thing, they want all this recycling, and this is going to happen more and more. I mean, the one up in Scotland, which was a battery recycling centre, has had 2 major fires there now.
Big, bada bing, bada boom.
The little white things falling off. Yeah, that's probably the ash from burning plastic and stuff like that, Stitch. You'll be surprised what shit comes out of a fire like that, especially at the temperatures they reach. Even concrete blocks can explode when they get hot enough in a building, especially if they're the aerated ones. The air inside expands, and that's why you should never build your barbecues out of them unless they're the real dense ones.
I want some stupid air bricks.
Yeah.
Don't want no smart bricks.
Somebody actually did that because you can buy, they're almost like a tile that's hollow, like they use on the continent as bricks. And he said, I'll build the barbecue out of those. He said, because the air will be able to circulate through the holes and keep the brickwork cooler. And then before he finishes, he plugs the fucking ends up so the air's got nowhere to expand or flow to. Hour and a half into the barbecue, the fuckers started exploding. And they were clay, which shouldn't really have burnt, but always mainstream media turning a bit on the government. In particular, I'm talking about Sky. I did watch an article they put out the other day. Now, we know Sky News is due to close at some point because of the bullshit they put out. The viewings have gone right down, apparently. So they're going to shut Sky News down and they'll just be integrated in the normal Sky News as it was. But apparently they did an investigation into the NHS. And according to them, they showed how the government is fudging the figures on people waiting for treatment, how they can claim all of a sudden there's millions being wiped off the list because they're being seen. Well, the fact, it seems that those millions were never there to start with. It's been quite level since the pandemic on how many people are going in. So what they're doing is just bamboozling people, smoke screens, gaslighting, and using malinformation. I mean, it didn't get any worse, so how can it get any better? Yes, I've got to agree that usually you turn up at A&E as your first port of call if you're unlucky. And yes, the A&E departments are overrun. Now, I've always said this is down to the fact that you can't get GP appointments. So people are going to go straight to A&E. I've done it myself. To be honest, I'd rather sit waiting for 8 hours in A&E than wait 3 or 4 fucking weeks for an appointment with a GP. Get it all done and dusted rather than it hanging on. And if you are genuinely ill and in pain, you can get, sorted out straight away. Now, Starmer said they took on, 1,200 new GPs? Yeah, apparently there's more than that have been laid off, made redundant, as it were. There's GPs out there saying, we want jobs, we can't get jobs due to cutbacks. So they're doing that. I mean, so that's an absolute load of bullshit. That's just another lie from them. But are the GPs overrun? Well, our local one, we've got 2 different surgeries in the same building. I should say there's on average about 8 doctors for each of the practices, plus various nurse and specialist nurse, and stuff like that. And, all the other little departments, the antenatal nurse or whatever they have. Yeah, every time you get an appointment, if you can get one, you walk in and there's maybe 2 people sat there. Where are the rest of the patients? I mean, it's a communal waiting area. So it's quite common to walk in there and see 2 to 3 people sat down for probably 16 doctors. I mean, phoning them is an absolute waste of time here. If you get through, you get those messages. Press 1 for appointments. This line is only open between 8 and 10 a.m. So you press on that and you're in a queue of about 60 people. So if you phone up at 8 a.m, you ain't going to get heard till after 10 p.m. anyway, 10 a.m. anyway. So that's a fucking waste of time. And there's about 7 options on there. And they're all the same, all open at different times. And you can never get through to speak to anybody. You can be sat there for 2.5 hours. I mean, they have got a callback thing, but that's at the end of the day. You know, if they've got time, they ring you back to see what you wanted. Same with prescriptions. You get to prescription queries number. Oh, bloody hell, you hit that one and you could be in the queue of a fucking 100. Yes, you can order repeat prescriptions online.
Well, I can.
But yeah, I don't do it. Heather does mine for me. But even that, I've got one of my meds where they insist it has to go through a doctor to get it filled, get the prescription filled. And I said, well, I told them if I've got to go through this every time, I'll just stop fucking taking it. You know, making phone calls here, there and everywhere, go to this place online, go to that place online. No, I've asked you to fucking fill my prescription and that's what I want doing. But no, this is, I mean, who was it?
Wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you. I can't remember who said it now. It might have been Farage, actually. With the actual money that the NHS wastes. Now, they've got over 250 nearly, I think it is, managers that are on over 100 grand a year. And they've got quite a few on over 200 grand a year. And then you've got the DEI managers. All these personnel on like anything from 70, 80 grand to a year to 200,000 a year. They're not needed. They don't help people. They don't cure people. Most of them know fuck all about medicine. So why are they there? Get rid of them. You could employ a lot more nurses, you know.
They are there so that the staff have somewhere to go to complain.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, finding someone who works in hospital that's below doctor that speaks English is fucking near impossible. You got to call about your meds. They do regular reviews, Stitch. At the moment, their reviews seem to consist of cutting down what people are taking because it's costing too much. But there again, you got to balance that out against Big Pharma.
I was going to say they keep telling me to take more.
Who are going to be big losers with Trump, especially now he's come out with this. He wants to balance up the prices of healthcare and prescriptions in America to make it affordable for everybody. Well, that's going to bring the prices down, isn't it? So everybody can afford it. That's going to take an awful lot of money out of big farmers' pockets, because some of the difference in the prices is unreal. I mean, some of them, by the time he brings the prices down, they're going to be reduced by 80%. Anywhere between 50 and 80% drop in the prices, and that will be all that Big Pharma can charge. So they're in for a big hit. Yeah, they don't really like people having morphine in public, Stitch. That's the problem. They never have done. Let's just say it's always been a sellable commodity in the underworld. I mean, I can't use it. It makes me sick, morphine.
I don't like morphine.
No, Heather's the same. They tried to give it me once in hospital, and I said, well, I've never had it before. And they stuffed it in there, and I was throwing my ring up all over the place, and my body just wouldn't take it.
I have bad trips.
Yeah. When you dislocated your hip, you sat here and went through a whole bottle of gas. Mind you, they were trying to pull you about, weren't they?
Yeah.
But then you got Khan in London wants to decriminalise possession of cannabis. Well, many of us have agreed with that for many, many years. It's always been a debate.
Didn't go through though, did it?
No, because he ripped the piss out of him. But yeah, and the reason for it is why I picked up on it, because it's causing division between the police and ethnic minorities. So what he's saying is ethnic minorities shouldn't be picked on for having a bit of weed. Now, if you think about the percentages, minorities in this country are like 60% of the population. I can guarantee you, Khan, there are more fucking white people in this country that smoke weed than there are blacks, browns, greens, yellows, or any other fucking colour you like to mention. You could put them all together and they still won't have as many people smoke weed as white English people. He's such a fucking dick. I mean, personally, I'd like to see Ant Middleton get in. He's got some brave ideas. But to be honest, it don't matter. Just get rid of that little prick Khan. He's no good for London. He's no good for this country. And he's a fucking embarrassment to the Labour Party, to be quite honest. But Reform are stepping up to the mark. I mean, they're winning polls everywhere. They're winning councils. They're winning councillors and what have you. And today, Farage gave a speech this morning, I think it was. I didn't see it till later on in the day, where he absolutely threw the gauntlet down to Starmer. This is what we will do. This is what the country needs. Now, we've seen Starmer do a lot of U-turns, and it looks like there could be some more on the way. The biggest U-turn we'd wish he'd make is his fucking career choice, but he's there now. There's nothing we can fucking do about that. But, yeah, I mean, the U-turns, they're looking at U-turning the winter payments for the olds. They're looking at U-turning on the disability benefit changes. But the thing is, they're going to need to put the tax up to pay for all this. So we want Rachel from accounts gone by the autumn fucking budget to see who else can make a fucking mess of it. But he did refer again to the £22 billion black hole. You know, that's been disproved. The IMF, the International Money Fund, have said the country's going down the fucking drain with what he's doing, or they're doing. They're driving down the economy, inflation. I mean, bills are coming down, he said. Well, no. Food prices have skyrocketed. The inflation on food is unbelievable.
How do you know?
Yeah. Because I listen and look.
You don't shop.
I know. Very
Buy
rarely.
the occasional bar of chocolate when you want to spoil me. But you don't shop.
Yeah, but that's gone up by 50%. So I do see it. Sweets have gone up as well.
Yeah, well, that's just a cool thing.
But no, food prices have gone up. As I said in the video the other day, I can't remember whether it was yesterday or last week. They're dropping the price cap a bit on the energy. That's only going to affect the people that are paying that amount anyway, which is usually businesses. Most households won't see a thing from that. And even if we did say, he says £11 a year, it was fucking £11 a year. You know, it's 2 or 3 cups of coffee when you think about it, isn't it? At the prices they charge for that shit. You know, nothing they're doing is for the working class or the working man or even anybody in this fucking country. You know, it's... I mean, he was going on and creating and cooing about, oh, we've done this brilliant deal with the EU, we've done this brilliant deal with France. And now France trying to wiggle out of paying us any money from the defence fund, which was the main reason he went in there, I believe, because we can't afford our own fucking defence anymore. Because all the money's going to defend other fucking countries. Right. Yeah, it's... I mean, they've started this drive now, and the recruitment drive. The adverts are everywhere. Join the army, join the RAF, join the fucking Navy. But the army, now, this was absolutely flabbergasted. The government want the army, in particular the RSMs and the normal sergeants, to go easier on the recruits. They don't want them shouting at them, upsetting them, or anything like that. What the fuck? I mean, everybody I know that has served learnt discipline from the sergeant major because of the way that they were trained. You know, go soft on them. What sort of fucking army is this clown trying to put together? Not that it seems anybody's signing up anyway. Unfucking believable. You know, they need Sergeant Shut Up Williams and people like that in there. Give them fuck. Sorry guys, I'm ignoring everybody's... Well, we haven't had any opinions on any of it yet. Good evening, Adrian.
Nobody wants to comment.
Good
Everybody's
evening.
just sitting back and listening. Apparently, there's 23 watching now.
Bollocks. Cunty fuck pig. Just spilled coke in my crutch.
So you did.
Oh, it's all right. It's only gone on my chair.
It's all right.
I dribble a lot. I always was a messy baby.
Evening, Adrian.
I'm drinking through a fucking straw as well. Jesus. I'll need another one of them in a minute.
I couldn't. I meant to grab a glass, but I got here and sat down without one, so I couldn't be bothered to get up again.
Bunch of snowflakes. Yeah, that's all they'll get, Stitch. You know, it'd be push me, push you. Yeah, they wouldn't last 5 minutes on a battlefront. I don't think half of them have survived the first fucking 6 weeks of basic training.
Well, it's like I said, back in the day, our granddads and our dads and people of those generations were fighting to keep their country.
Yeah.
People stopped wanting to join the army around about the time of Northern Ireland and Vietnam and things like that, because they weren't fighting to defend their country. They were fighting a war that was pointless.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with them.
Well, that's all the wars at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
None of them are anything to fucking do with us.
No, but that's what I mean. People, why would you want to join the army? Learn a trade and get an apprenticeship, and I'm not going to get killed.
Yeah, loafer. I posted that clip on Facebook of that, and the one with the slap with the fish.
And have you got anything else you'd rather be doing?
Yeah, anything else you'd rather be doing than this pointless drill? Yeah, I got a good book to read, Sergeant Major. You look back through some of the old TV programs, you know, it predicted what's happening now. There was films and all sorts showing, you know, and documentaries. And when you look at what's happening today, it's quite unnerving how close some of those predictions were. You know, I like, there's been a few now of when they asked the kids back in the 60s and 70s what they thought would be like in the future, you know, with the flying cars, and some of them went quite deep. There was I remember one, I think he was a 10-year-old, saying that, oh, well, the government are going to take over, they're going to run everything in the future, you know, we'll live where they tell us to live. And that was coming from a 10-year-old in 1970. You know, he sounded like a young Orwell. You know, they did everything like, you know, what pocket money do you get and what have you. And they were also, you know, I get a tanner and 5 punts, as they called it back then. Thruppence, yeah. The old threepenny bit. Did you know that was never legal tender?
No.
Yes.
Why was that?
I can't remember. I read it somewhere.
Okay, here we go.
You have a look. Somebody said the threepenny bit
Which
was
one,
actually
the silver one or the one with 11 sides?
I don't know. It just said threepenny bit.
Well, there were 2.
Eh?
There was 2. There was a silver threepenny bit, which was really, really small, about the size of a farthing. And then we got the one with 11 sides on, or whatever it was.
The little brassy coloured one is the one I remember, yeah. Well, look it up. I just read it somewhere. I thought, surely not. See, it was going for all the coins, like the half crown, the big one. Fucking swallowed one of them as a kid. It was fucking huge.
12-sided nickel piece.
12-sided. Yeah, it was just somebody said that it wasn't actually.
It's not anymore.
Oh, no, I know it's not now. Because we used to make jewellery out of the old silver sixpences.
The threepence, also known as the threepenny bit, ceased to be legal tender in August 1971.
So that's the same. That was when we went
That's
decimal.
the 12-sided one.
Maybe that was wrong what I read then. Like I always say.
I used to spend them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody used to spend them. It was just something that came up, and I thought, I kept meaning to check it out myself, and I never did. But it just shows what I say. You can't believe everything you see on social media. Always do your own research.
That's saying the silver throat.
You'll confuse yourself. Oh dear. Hell. Oh dear, what we on there? Oh, the Starmer fires. Starmergate. How the fuck can he turn around and say, oh, the Russians might have had something to do with it? No, the Russians, if they do anything untoward, underhand, like that, they normally make a fucking good job of it. They certainly wouldn't miss the fact that Starmer didn't live there anymore. They certainly wouldn't have missed the fact that he never didn't own the car anymore. You know, were they trying? Because apparently it was his relations that lived in one. Can't see the Russians going after them if they wanted him. But again, it's another one of those that's gone reasonably quiet. They've been covering up any details they found, other than the fact that two of them were Ukrainian. I think one of them was a Romanian Ukrainian or something. But and they're not dismissing it as a terrorist attack. Oh dear. But there you go. So anyway, what did everybody get up to the bank holiday weekend? Anything exciting? Targeted the front doors. Hiding evidence, loafer. But it does seem very strange of a coincidence that with the rumours that have been flying around about him, that they're all pretty little boy models. Not saying anything there, of course. Don't want to accuse the guy of being a raving homosexual. Do you want any more about it?
No. Yes, actually, I'll have another can of Fanta, please.
Another can of what?
Fruity can off the stairs. Roger keeps trying to get me to put my pop in the fridge, and I'm like, no. Because when it's like this, it doesn't want to be. Well, I don't want it fridge cold. I just want it. Yeah. Room temperature.
Out of breath, just going out to the kitchen. Whew.
It's one for you to take outside later, darling.
No, they're all going inside now. How come if they can't pick the recycling up, it can all go in the normal bin? Fuck them. That's 4 weeks now. They've been picking our bin up.
I was going to say it was only the other day we said we hadn't missed a collection.
Yeah, we've only missed one, and they came on a weekend. But it's been 4 weeks or so now, probably more, where they haven't picked up the recycling. So I told him, I said, well, fuck it, I'm just going to throw it in the normal bin then. If you're not going to pick up the recycling, I shan't recycle. And I swear he didn't understand what I said because I couldn't understand fuck all what he said back. You know, the only way I could see him under his hoodie was because he smiled.
Roger. Can't say things like that. No, you can't.
You took Little Stitch out for the day. Yeah, I mean, the weather weren't too bad here. We've had the odd rain shower the last couple of days. Nothing real heavy. It was a bit chillier over the weekend, but well, it will get colder now. The ice pack's growing, isn't it, in Antarctica? There's global warming for you. It's forming more ice. And losing it from the top and gaining it on the bottom. That sounds like getting old. The Arctic's losing ice, the Antarctic's gaining ice. Yeah, it's just moving, isn't it? That could have something to do with the magnetic pole shifts that have been going on, but
It's getting quite away from the magnetic north now, isn't it?
yeah, what was it? I looked at a chart on how far from what was true north, magnetic north, is now magnetic north, measuring it against true north. It's it's quite surprising, and it is literally meters,
55 kilometres a year.
kilometers. Fucking hell.
The North Magnetic Pole is currently moving north-northwest at approximately 55 kilometres per year. It's drifting towards Russia, moving away from its historical location over Canada.
Yeah.
It's defecting.
Magnetic north defecting to Russia. I like that.
This one says it's going to Siberia, so it's obviously...
Yeah, well, that's North Russia, isn't it? Yeah. That's where the gulags are.
55 kilometres, for those of us that understand English, is 34 miles away.
Or thereabouts. Give or take a few inches.
Oh, yeah. By 2025, it will have drifted 138 degrees east.
But you look at what the fucking idiot's saying now. Oh, it's going to compromise our safety because the Arctic's melting. When he was questioned on it, it was like, well, it means the Russians can get around easier at sea. Well, they've had submarines that can go under the fucking ice for months and months and months. So, what a pointless statement that was. An absolutely ridiculous one. But I personally think Starmer's panicking. He's going to make, or supposedly going to make, these U-turns. He's already stuttering and faltering on other stuff. And I don't think we'll see a general election. Something will have to be drastic for that to happen because he won't relinquish the fucking premiership. Not a chance.
Maybe we could drive a car at him.
So it depends what's going to fucking follow him, innit? Yeah, no worries, Scar. Yeah. James, good evening, buddy. Just listening in tonight. Yeah, no worries, buddy.
I wouldn't bother, Palm. It's pretty boring.
Yeah, it's pretty boring. As you know, I haven't been doing so much, which also means during the day I don't look around so much as at what's happening. I've been neglecting my health a little bit and what have you. So I'm actually having a bit more time, not just to myself, but to ourselves, as it were. That's why there haven't been many videos. Again, there probably won't be one tomorrow, but I just may do one Friday. Oh, not Friday. It's only a phone call appointment, isn't it? Yeah. And then next Monday, I got me venous section treatment. The one for me ultrasound to look at me arteries and what have you for blood flow has been put back. That's been put back another month. So that's not happening until June now. That's to do with the very distinct possibility that my bypass surgery has failed, which would account for a lot of issues with my left leg again. Well, both legs, to be honest. But I've not been sleeping well for a few weeks again now. I did have a bit of a breathless attack one morning about 2:30, where I actually had to get up and move around to help myself breathe a little bit. But that's enough of my woes, as it were.
And it wasn't that I was strangling you.
No. You didn't have anything around my throat whatsoever.
Or a pillow over your face.
No.
I was just dreaming about it.
Yeah. You were just doing it in your dreams.
Yeah.
As long as it's like, if you're having a piss in your dreams, don't do it. But no, it's I don't know why I'm been a bit under the weather lately. I know I did do a bit too much a little while back, but that should have been shrugged off by now. But there you go. So, what's anybody else out there got to say? Come on, you all just sat here listening to me.
Well, you told us you took little Stitch out, darling. Where did you take him? To the park? To get an ice cream?
What's the point? There's an ice cream in the fridge, isn't there? Oh. Supper sorted. Ice cream. But, we've reached just over 3,000 subs now. 3,004.
Mister, I only want 500.
Or 40, yeah. Well, that's what I mean. The subs have been still climbing steadily, but the viewings have been going down faster.
They obviously don't want to come and see it live, though.
Well, no, I mean, a lot of people don't. I mean, if you think most people like to go on a live for hassle and bitching and moaning and backbiting each other, and that's the reason we don't do it in here. If it's smaller community of people in, that's absolutely cool.
Yeah, that sounds like a nice day out. Evening, Stuart.
Stuart, good evening, mate.
What was the event, or just a
late
buy one get one free? I've been noticing there's quite a few deals on with restaurants at the moment, trying to get you out. But we've had a spate of new restaurants open around by us, so it might be just trying to get people to come and have a try. That round by us, the row of shops up the road is known on the signposts as the food quarter. We have a food quarter in our town.
Yeah, emphasis on town, not city. Oh yeah, it looked like Miliband might be losing his constituency as well. I think it's next year that their local elections up, but I think Reform are going to take quite a few more. When we decide that shirt, it's usually a takeaway.
He won't go out.
I don't like eating out. Treat a little Stitch. It was cool.
So-
He got some clothes.
So I'll go out without him.
I actually bought myself a pair of jeans a week or so ago, Stitch.
No, you didn't.
Well, you bought me a pair of jeans a week or so ago.
I was going to say, you keep saying you're going to buy something. And then I say, these, yeah, okay. And then I buy them. And
Simply the fact that I don't go out. Couldn't happen to a nicer twat. I don't enjoy eating out. I think it's expensive for what you get. I get bored because I don't drink. And usually I'm just sat around the house with my joggers on or something. If I do step out the door, I normally put my combats on. I actually went to put a pair of jeans on the other day. I think I've got 5 or 6 pairs up there. Not one of them fitted, so I had to fork out, or Heather forked out for another pair that fitted. I mean, they're only cheap ones from fucking Asda. That's all I need. I'm not one to dress in designer labels. If it's cheap and functional, I'll have it.
that'll do for me.
Do for me. Nice one, Harry, as they say. Let's see, what's going to happen now? Just thought about something else that went through my mind the other day. Starmer's done this deal, allegedly trade deal, although he hasn't released any details, with the EU. But now they've been pissing Trump off again. So Trump is slapping a 50% tariff on the EU. How's that going to affect us? Because you can guarantee some of the stuff the EU was buying in from America, they sell on to us just the same as we do. And we did after the war. All the aid and food and everything else that the Americans sent us, including money, was sold to the European countries.
Well, they obviously needed it more than we did.
Thank you, Stitch. You just reminded me I've got to get some more socks. And we're not far off the holiday now, so I don't usually get too much there. As Edith says, I spend most of the time wearing the clothes I travelled up in.
Except when you're fishing.
Except for when I'm fishing.
Because then you're getting your good clothes.
Cheers, James. No, not that, Scar. No, what it is with the polycythemia, there's the gaps. I mean, this time it's a week longer gap as well because I couldn't make the appointment that they gave me. Over the month between treatments, my blood thickens up, in particular the red cells, which puts my blood pressure up because obviously it takes a bit more to push them around the body. And that could be why I'm getting out of breath because don't forget the red cells also carry oxygen around the body. But no, it's something I do keep an eye on. I mean, I do my blood pressures. You can see that in the fucking thing. 4 times a day. No, 8 times a day. No, 4 times a day. Keep an eye on it, because if it does start pissing around, I have to get in touch with them straight away because of the risk of blood clots that I've got. I'm at a very high risk for blood clots. But yeah, I always notice it sort of after about 3 weeks. It does start to go up. I've looked through my sheets and it is quite a pattern. So, you know, I don't worry about it unduly. I mean, it goes up and down all the fucking time. We did. Some of you might remember it. Most of you won't. When I first started monitoring my blood pressures a few years ago, I did it one night on PAP Live. And before the show, it was something like 140 over 60. And I tested it halfway through the show and it was well over 200. But he's doing all right. I haven't spoke to him recently. He's not on Facebook anymore. That's one of the reasons I haven't spoke to him recently, because he's got thrown off of there and he won't be going back. But as far as I know, he's absolutely fine. He has been posting on X, causing uproar as he does. He's been having a go at everybody on there. But as far as I know, he's absolutely fine. If he wasn't, I'd know. Yeah, they're not that accurate, Scar. What I use is the same machine as the doctor uses. Well, she actually gave me that one. I did buy 2 cheap ones for myself, and they lasted one lasted a fortnight before it decided it was going to commit suicide, shall I say. It just went haywire and wouldn't register anything. And the other one lasted, I think it was about a week longer. So I told the doctor that I was going to stop monitoring them because I couldn't afford to keep replacing the bloody machines. And she was quite surprised that they hadn't given me one before. I said, well, I did ask. And they didn't even have one to loan me for a week. She said, don't worry. And she nipped off out of her surgery and came back with a box with a brand new one out of the cupboard. And she said, it's not a loaner. She said, keep it. Thank you very much. But it's far better quality than the ones I had. So, and it's been working now for what? Over a year, that one.
I don't know.
It's got to be something like that.
Track of time.
But I have thought about one of the watch ones, Scar.
I got one of them.
No, he means the proper big one like Tina's got.
Mine does everything that Tina does.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the only time that would be handy is when we're on holiday, but usually I check it in the morning and then once again in the evening, so I can just put that one in my case and take a couple of the forms up with me to fill in. But as I said the other, excuse me, keep doing this. It's another thing I've got is dry skin, and it makes me itch. You know, I don't even know if I'm going to still be able to handle the fishing. So this year is going to be a little bit of a test, just to see if I can keep up with it. My doc says I have to buy it. Yeah, most of them will, Scar. They do have loaners. They'll lend you one for like a week if they want to monitor you. But because mine's constant monitoring, you know, they gave me one because I literally said, no, I'm not forking out for another one. I'd love to have one of the old original pump-up ones. But using one of them, you need a stethoscope and all sorts. And you have to count the beats and shit for your heart. And then you got the 2 dials to read. And that thing, you just press the button, it releases the pressure and gives you your blood pressure, systolic and dystolic. So, and it gives you your heart rate. It did show up the other day as I was having a bit of a arrhythmia. It normally puts up a little wiggy line if your heartbeat's not too consistent. Warns you if your heartbeat's too high. It's just something I have to get used to. I mean, it didn't even come with any instructions. I mean, it's got memory functions and all sorts of shit. Pap, how you doing, my buddy? He was just talking about you.
Hello, darling.
How you keeping, bro? I take it you're still looking after mother. I thought you'd have found a place down there by now. Mind you, with the way they're paying out and forking out money to house these fucking channel paddlers, it's not going to be a lot between it. You on your phone, Dan, or are you on your computer? You up in Liverpool?
He's on his phone because it's taking him ages to type back.
Yeah, that's what Heather's got, James. Not a smartwatch, but she's got a little one that monitors her heart and blood pressure and stuff.
Mine counts the steps, does my heartbeat, tells my blood pressure.
Check Discord. I'll have to open it.
Yeah, all that sort of shit.
Oh, come
What
on.
does it do? Oh yeah, how many calories I've burned? 53. More than that in a cake. How long I slept for? Heart rate, blood oxygen, blood pressure, my temperature. And then it will tell me the news and messages and things like that.
Yeah. I can do that. It's all right, guys. I'm just.
I mean, where you been posting, Dan? Or have you directly messaged Roger?
No, he directly messaged me. So I'm getting confused with things again here. So my computer's been.
Yeah, he doesn't keep Discord open because. Yeah, no. So I tend to tell him when there's anything there if I can see it. Like when.
What it is I've got 2 hard drives in the computer. And it's
and it confuses you.
It confuses me because one gets filled up quick and then it won't accept it, and it's the one where I put all my videos. So I'm trying to learn how to use the other one, which has got a lot more space in it to put stuff in there. It's there you go, Dan. I think I've answered you in there. Yeah. But yeah, nice to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing all right. We must have that. Oh, now I've got the dreaded fucking.
Yeah, we must have that catch up that Holly was mumbling about.
Yeah. Why am I not seeing messages on there? Okay, we're not on that. Not on that. How the fuck? No, that's mine.
Well, your messages should be on your name.
Yeah. I can't fucking see them. Mind you, hang on, I've got that on.
Look what you've done to him, Dan. You've broke him.
Broke me again.
Keeps making these funny noises now. Look.
Oh shit.
And there we go again.
Oh no, it's all right. I thought I'd fucking X-ray YouTube then for some reason. Right, I haven't got Discord open. Dan, I sent you the link if you want to pop in, mate. Well, I hope I sent it to you on Discord. No good trying to send it on Facebook anymore, is it? And is my fucking chat frozen?
No, just nobody's talking.
Oh, leaving it all doing to me.
Well, it's Dan's fault. Check your messages. And we're sitting here going, what? What's in the messages? What's in the messages?
Yeah,
And you can't find the message.
I couldn't find the fucking message. I saw one. Let me have another look here. Let me have a looky see. You know what I'm like with this fucking tech.
That might be all he sent his one.
No, it should be. Right, let's click in there. That's my server. Oh, hello. Cousin Maureen. Hello. How are you? I'm not too bad. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to mute my mic, guys, for a minute. Well, hello, matey.
Right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay. The microphone on the laptop wasn't working, so I've just had to plug the desktop out one in. Hello, everybody. How you doing, Roger? Hello,
Yeah.
Heather.
Hello, gorgeous.
So that was one of my cousins over in Belfast.
That's all right, mate. No worries.
She's got a few questions about the video I put up, or what I was talking about on Facebook. I can't remember now. She just wanted a bit more information. But
I'd love to be able to help, but I got permanently banned from Facebook. So
you got what? Oh yeah, from Facebook. I wonder why.
Well,
He's going to piss the copycat off. He's got
the thing about it is it wasn't even anything to do with what I've posted, because everything I post, I nick off of Facebook anyway, right?
Yeah.
So they can't have just kicked me off. But what they done is they kicked me off and they sent me a message saying sexual misconduct. So I went through their terms and conditions, right? Their terms, and I looked at what their sexual misconduct was. Sexual exploitation. Sorry, not misconduct. So I looked through the wording for it, and I was like, hang on a fucking minute. So I obviously appealed it, and I went to Twitter and tagged them in there as well, and basically just said, listen, you fucking dumb fucks. If I've sexually exploited somebody, you'd better call the fucking police, because it's a crime in this country. I'll wait.
Yeah, I see what you'd posted on there.
Fucking dickheads. Absolute dickheads. How's everybody doing anyway? Sorry, folks in the chat. Yes, it's definitely getting there. I mean, it's down to my nose now at the front. So
you're going to look like one of them fucking woke Antifa jobs before long if you carry on trucking it down like that.
So yeah, I saw you on. I've literally just got back to Liverpool. I'm only back for one night. Then I've got to go back down to Essex again tomorrow. I'll come back. I've got a notification that you was on, and I thought, you know what, fuck it. Before I go and get something to eat, I'll jump on, because I've not spoken to anybody for ages, really. So I thought I'd better jump on and say hello. It's Loafer, Dantifa. That's a cheap. It's not blue or fucking pink. How dare you?
Well, at least the police have started arresting one or two of them now. That's one good thing.
That's true. And I'm not wearing a tea towel around my neck either. So fuck them. Yeah, man. So I thought I'd jump on and say hello. Just, it's been a while.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've only got to look at what's happened in Liverpool over the last few days. It's
yeah. Do you know what? They're saying they're investigating him for attempted murder. I don't think it is. I don't think he done it on purpose.
Nope.
And now some people might think I'm being a bit of a dick, right? I think that I know that he'd been for a drink because he was drunk, right? So he'd been for a drink. He thought he'd sneak through behind the ambulance, right? And I'm not blaming Liverpool fans, by the way. So if anybody watches this, I'm not blaming anybody. All I'm saying is, I think he's driven through. I think he's knocked into a couple of people with his car, not hard, but then they've turned round and started kicking his car, right? Which I don't blame them for.
Do you know what? I said exactly the same in the video yesterday, mate.
And I've not seen it, Rog. This is what I've been saying to my mum from the start. I think that because somebody threw something at his back window and smashed the window.
It started before that.
Yeah, no, I know that. As he came through the blockade, then I think he bumped into some people. They started kicking and punching his car and having a go at him. I think he thought then. Shit, I'm pissed. I'm going to get fucking rumbled for this. And then somebody threw something through his back window. He's driven down the road some more. The people that attacked his car, rightly so, by the way, caught up with him, and everybody else started attacking the car. At which point, I think he's tried to drive off because he didn't drive fast. That's the main thing for me. He didn't put his foot down. If he'd have put his foot down, there wouldn't, everybody at the moment, although some people are badly hurt, nobody died, thank God. And if he was there to do something purposely, we'd have dead people, especially with 70-odd people injured.
And a big car like that.
So although he deserves the book thrown at him, 100% he deserves a book thrown at him. Attempted murder, I think, is not going to stick. But he deserves to get locked up for what he did. Absolutely, 100%.
What I saw, I've watched the whole video from several different angles.
Yeah.
Right from when he was parked up by the side of the ambulance that he followed through. The ambulance had stopped. He had obviously tried to go round it,
Yeah.
but he was stationary.
Yeah.
Now, while he was there, he was blowing his horn as if people, come on, move out the way, guys. I want to come through.
Yeah.
Somebody started kicking the back of the car.
Yeah.
At which point he reversed up.
Yeah.
And he nudged the bloke quite a way back. Now, as he went to go forward again, that guy actually got up, run up to the back of the car and put a fold-up chair through the back window.
Right.
So it was, as you said, it was only a nudge to start with. He probably reversed in panic.
Yeah.
Didn't see the guy there. He was the one that took out the window.
Yeah.
Now, as he drove off, it looked like whether he'd hit him or what, but he was on the side of the car. A bloke was on the bonnet in front of the passenger side window.
Right.
And you could physically see the guy swerve to the right a bit, not very fast.
Yeah.
To get the guy off, which he did. He flew off the car.
Yeah.
And it was at that point when he swerved right that he started to go into the people.
That's right. Yeah.
You could see him
Then he
steer out of the people.
Yeah. Then he went left. Yeah.
And then realised what was going on and the car stopped.
Yeah. I think he was off his fucking tits, personally.
Yeah. He panicked. They were beating shit out the car and smashing the windows.
And I know that might, some people are going to go, oh, you fucking, people were saying straight away, they're calling it Liverpool terror attack. I could tell from the beginning it wasn't a terror attack, right from seeing it.
He wouldn't have stopped by the ambulance. He'd have just been foot through the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is, that road, it's a straight road. There's no bends in that road. My office was right out. I had an office right outside where he stopped. Okay. And where he got lifted from. So I know that road intimately, right? He should. There's no way he should have got through there anyway, because that should have been blocked off from the very top of Dale Street, which is right.
Oh, it was all blocked off. They lifted the barrier to let the ambulance through, and he followed it through.
Yeah, but where were the police? Where were the police stopping him from getting through? Yeah. You know what I mean? There should have been police at the barrier to make sure nobody was getting through that shouldn't have got through. And there wasn't any. So granted, this guy needs full force of the law against him, right? I totally, if you're going to break the law, you've got to take the consequences. And he's injured a lot of people, including kids. He needs to go to prison for being a dick. But the police who allowed him to go through, and they must have allowed him to go through because they did fuck all to try and stop him, they need to take him to task as well.
If he'd pushed his way through while they were there, they'd have already been to that car by the time it got stopped at the ambulance. They'd have been swarming all over it.
It's horrific. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the people that got hurt. I mean, somebody, at least one person was stuck underneath the car, which I saw.
4.
There's 4. Right. Okay. So
including one of the kids.
So the guy needs. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I don't. To be fair, and again, you know what I think of the police, but I don't think they're going to really have much more than wounding with intent. At the most, I think.
They were very quick to jump on the bandwagon and put out that he was, a white Englishman, which is something they don't normally do.
Yeah.
In cases like this. And we know they cover up, but I mean, there was so many fucking cameras on that happening.
Yeah. And then they said, then they were saying during the press conference, don't share the videos. And in the next breath, they're saying, can we have the videos, please?
That's exactly what I said earlier on air. I said they go around every fucking week persecuting people for filming in public.
Yeah.
And then they got the fucking cheek to ask for some of the footage. But I like Matey's response on another video. The police were asking for his ring doorbell footage.
Right.
And he said, no problem. He said, I operate the same as you. And the copper said, well, how's that? He said, if you want my footage, you put in a freedom of information request, and there's a fee to be paid as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfectly fine by me.
And then what you do is you block out the face of the person they're looking for.
Can't send this over social media. It's a nasty video.
Well, I can show your face, officer, but I can't show anyone else's face, can I? That's, GDPR and all that. Hi, Stitch. Hello, James. Sorry, people. Hello, Tony, Loafer, Scar, Moo. Good to see you all. Who else is in here?
Yeah, the usual crowd. James.
Stuart.
They ask after you every week.
Yeah, everybody asks. every
And
week. How you doing?
And I appreciate that. Adrian as well had popped in earlier. Nice
Yeah,
to see
he
him.
pops in most weeks now.
It's nice to see. Nice to see him about still.
Yeah. I don't think he's very well, but
That's a shame.
he's still running the farm. So
Right.
the government haven't got their hands on him yet.
Oh well,
They're
it's nice
trying
to
with
see him
that.
around. Nice to see him around still. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, this is about average viewings for me on here, which is great because, as I always said, everybody in here is respectful. We don't have any of the arguments that we used to get and all that shit, and it's just a peaceful place to come.
I'm still not good as a moderator because I've never had to do a damn thing.
Well, I'm not on the brandy tonight, so it's going to stay respectful, and I've got to go get something to eat shortly. Anyway, so
quarter to 9. I usually quit at 9 o'clock now anyway, mate. I just can't stay awake any longer half the time because my health has gone downhill. No, I've been really suffering. It looks like me bypass surgery might have failed as well. I've got to go in and be checked out for that. The COPD is getting a lot worse.
I'm going to have him.
You were fucking heartless anyway.
But I'm constantly. I'm on permanent treatment for the polycythemia, the blood disorder.
Yeah.
I'm still monitoring my blood pressure, as I was saying, because that's gone up because I'm close to the next venous section on Monday.
Right.
So,
but yeah,
no, it's. I mean, I tried to. My mate comes round, cuts the lawn for us, or the paddock as it is, with how it grows. He just comes round with a dirty, great big mower, and he just mullers it.
Yeah.
But we run the Renathin across it last time and raked all the dead out, so it's made it a bit easier. But I tried to help him. I was raking the cuttings up, and I absolutely mullered myself, mate. I couldn't move for 2 bloody days.
Mate, you don't realise how easy it is to fuck yourself up. The exhaustion is real, mate. You know that. People that haven't got it don't understand it. And it is fucking hard. And you think, oh, I'll be all right. I feel great today. And then you just do that tiny little bit too much. You don't even realise you've done too much, and it absolutely hits you like a train. And
I had the chap who cuts the lawn for us. He was a mate of Heather's originally, but I got to know him over the years.
Yeah,
and in return, he bought a mountain bike round for me to do some work on for him.
Right.
So I knew I couldn't handle going out in the workshop and sorting out there to be able to do it out there. So I thought, fuck it, it's clean work. I put a tarpaulin on the floor in here. In fact, my bike stand is still up there behind the chair. And I was doing the work on it in here because I could pull my chair up to it.
Yeah.
And after 20 minutes of that, mate, I'm shagged. And that's just sitting down, moving my hands.
Yeah.
It took me nearly a week to do it, and it's probably less than 2 hours work.
Yeah. No, man. I know how. I'm in your shoes in that respect. So I'm sure Stitch is as well. I know Stitch has fatigue. You've probably got a couple of other people that have got it on there. There you go. There you go. That's true. Yeah, I'm still mullered from Friday. Yeah.
I mean, it does. If you do too much one day, it can wipe you out for a complete week.
Yeah.
I mean, I made the mistake last night because I like techie things. I always follow Starship and that, and SpaceX.
Right.
And of course, the launch is on now. They're at short notice. They're going to fire it up there again to blow up, which it did. As far as I'm concerned, I looked at the numbers. I thought it's going to be around midnight when it goes up. So I had about an hour's kip in my chair through the evening. I thought I'm going to stay up and watch it. I want to see it live. And I was still here at fucking 2 o'clock this morning. I thought, oh God, this is going to play havoc with my system.
Yeah.
But he didn't disappoint. Yeah, both sections blew up. So. world's most expensive firework.
Yes, yeah. Thank you, Stitch. Appreciate that. I did get your message was it a week ago? I think it was, Stitch. I'm fucking nightmare at getting back to people, so you'll have to accept my apologies for that. If you message at the wrong time, I'm in the middle of something, I'll forget, and then I'll look at it later and I'll go, instead of doing it there and then, which I should, I'll go, I'll do that like once I've made my mum dinner or whatever it is I've got to do for her. Just trying to get her to learn, trying to get my mum learn to live on her own at the moment. Still trying to find a way of moving back down there, which is impossible at the moment. But she's been pretty well. She's taken the loss of dad pretty well, but she's always been quite a hard woman. She's always been able to
deal with
crack on, with 6 kids. She's always been able to crack on, and she has her up and down moments, as do we all. But trying to get her to live on her own, and not rely on me being there as much as I am is difficult. But it's it's got to be done. Your family comes first at the end of the day, doesn't it? So
yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to skedoodle. As I say, I wanted to jump on and say hello to everybody just quickly.
Yeah, nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you.
I honestly don't know when I'm coming back to the channel. The channel's still there because I will be coming back. 100% I'm coming back to it. I just don't know when.
You've got to be a bit wary because they changed the policy on how long they leave it. If there's no activity, they'll shut it down.
Right. Okay. Well, I might stick a little video up, a few minutes long, just letting everyone know.
Just do an update on yourself, because don't forget, a lot of them never used to follow you on Facebook.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't follow me, so it's only the ones that are in my channel that have been getting the updates that I was giving out on your behalf. Like,
yeah.
So a lot of them won't know.
No, I'll do that.
Yeah, and that keeps at least something coming into the channel where they, he hasn't quite finished with that yet.
Yeah, like making a phone call on a pay-as-you-go phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
all right then, folks. Right, nice to see you, Roger. Nice to see you, Heather.
Nice to see the old weight loss is showing up there now.
You're looking healthy.
Well, a little bit. It's still, I've still got a bit to go, but I have lost a bit. I've lost a bit of weight.
Yeah, it's getting there, mate. It's getting there.
James, I will be back. I just don't know exactly when yet. But the channel's still there because I'm coming back. Otherwise, I'd pause it, and I'd put it, take it down or whatever, and but it's still there because I'm coming back. But I'm just not 100% sure when that's going to be yet. But I can't give it up. Do you know what I mean? That got me out of bed in the morning. I mean, my mum's getting me out of bed in the morning at the moment because I've got to help her. But when I'm back here, and mum's okay on her own, and then I'll have no reason to get up in the morning, so I'll be getting back to it.
Well, I've actually cut down on how much I'm on here. I'm only doing like 2-3 videos plus a live a week now. I just decided, my health's getting worse, so I'm just taking a bit more time for myself, and doing other things that I should have been doing, even though I can't remember what half of them are. But
don't forget, my darling, if ever you need that break between up there and down there, you're very welcome.
Yeah, you know where we are. You've been here before.
Even if it's only for a pee and a cup of tea.
I know, and I appreciate it.
Doors always open for you, mate.
Thank
I
you.
should be shutting down in a minute anyway, so
no worries.
9 o'clock's normally my time.
Right. I will then catch you all later. Look after yourselves, everybody, and I will see you all as soon as I possibly can.
Oh, well, hang on. pro-Palestine terrorist supporters are protesting outside Charing Cross, Nick.
Oh,
Good.
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 Oh,
Charing
okay.
Cross nick are the fuckers that nicked me for filming the BBC statue. Wankers.
All right, buddy. You look after
All
yourself. It's nice
Take
to
care, my
see
boy.
I
you
will
again.
do. Catch you all later.
Yeah.
Take
Cheers,
care, mate.
darling. Take care.
See ya.
Bye. Well, that was a nice surprise, wasn't it? Pap dropping in. I thought he was on his phone to start with, but right. Well, with that, I mean that's 5-2. I'm not going to start discussing things again now. With a couple of minutes to go. So, sorry, Lodger, he dropped in late, mate. Yeah, I normally shut down at 9 anyway. But no, great to see Pap looking good. Hopefully, I'll get some more regular updates. I'll certainly let you know if he decides to fire up the channel again.
I've just thought of something so corny.
Oh, Lodger's in Italy. What?
If you get regular updates on Pap, are they Pap dates?
Pap dates. Don't say things like that. Sexual things like that is what's got thrown him off Facebook.
No, it's what they do with the puppies, isn't it? You get pup dates. So with Dan, it must be Pap dates.
The Lodgers in Italy. Nice. Right, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna call that it. I gotta have some supper before I think about going to bed. I've got no rocket launches to stay up for tonight. What a stupid fucking thing to do that was. But there you go. That's me. My life's been full of stupid decisions. But thank you as always. Being so respectful. Thank you, Pap, for dropping in. That was a nice surprise. If you're still
It was
watching, buddy.
wonderful.
Absolutely lovely to see him. And with that, guys, I will say good night from me.
And good night from me.
And as always, stay safe, stay strong, stay free, and just for Heather, stay wicked. Good night, guys. Take care.